Hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Correspondences for Work and Magic on the 17th day of August 2021. It's a Tuesday. So Mars is governing magical stuff today, so lots of power, lots of manifestation, creativity, self-assertion, all of that. The favorability is very good. And I'm linking the magic today to the rune divination. And so and all of this, of course, is you're either going to see this on the blog over at Stepping Aside in the forecast for today, or you'll see it on Patreon, just as the magical stuff. The forecast is much bigger. And I just sort of, bring stuff out and then add more to the Patreon version of it. But then I also put a version of it over on Medium as well. But in any event, you can refer to all that stuff if you want to. Sometimes I'll make a reference to that and not actually, put all of it down. But usually on the Patreon one I do. We have, let's see, we're an 8 energy for today, an 8 numerology. So material recognition, leadership, and harmony. And that may be valuable to remember regarding the bind rune you're going to create today, if that's what you want to do. But Gebo, Alus, and Fehu comprise today's rune divination, where we allow our perceptions to shift toward a higher level of understanding, particularly surrounding our interactions with others. In other words, we might have to take the high road today about something or other. Particularly, unless it's unless it's a safety concern or something for you or someone else, that might be something where you have to be a little more direct. But Fehu represents cattle or wealth, and it's wealth that's movable. So you're talking transactional here. As the tribes begin to move about, they could take their cattle with them. They could use them as trading stock with another group of people or what have you. So suddenly it had a value in a different way than simply what it could do for the group or for the family or what have you. Basically it became currency. So I have to think that the divination really is describing some kind of interaction you're going to have today that's transactional, whether it's going to the grocery store, whether whatever it was, or you're going to do a barter with somebody, a neighbor or whatever, or whatever it is, you're going to buy something today maybe, or sell something. So you're going to have an interaction about that, and if it gets dicey, you have to not take offense. You have to rise above it all, and you can always walk away if something is not to your liking. So let's see, the moon is in Sagittarius until Capricorn, and then Capricorn is not until 10:58 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, so you've got all day to have zero tact, or to be talking to someone else with zero tact. If the Sagittarian, it's like you could have, its keyword is tactless, and so they'll open their mouth and stick their foot in it, before they realize, what they've said. So, and then they'll just say, well, no, I meant that. It's like, no, you really didn't. So, my husband's a Sagittarian, so this much I know. And we've been married for 42 years, so I've had plenty of opportunity to discover this. Anyhow, again, the favorability of work and magic today is very good. So in the hour of Mars, review today's rune divination and create a bind rune to carry with you during an interaction that is transactional in nature. You could place it in a mojo bag or gree bag, however, or charm bag, whatever you want to call those things. And you can either have just a piece of fabric that you put everything in the center and tie it up, or you can use, where are they? Here they are. I buy them in bulk. You can use, and we've talked about making mojo bags before, but they're just little drawstring muslin bags. You can put everything in it, cinch it up. You can draw on the outside anything you want to, decorate it any way you want to, whatever works for you. The disadvantage of muslin bags is that they're neutral. So if you're wanting to make your mojo bag, a particular color to align with the magic that you're working, then you'd have to use a little. You can buy them. You don't have to buy a whole lot of fabric. You can buy those swatches. They're just in little squares. I've bought those, and they work great. They're big enough. I mean, you can actually cut them down and probably use them for more than one. But they're great to use if you want to make the kind that you just lay out, put your stuff in the middle, and then draw it up and tie it. So several ways to do this. Let's see. So what did I say? Okay. Along with, and here's the thing. I did an example, and I'm going to include this on Patreon. This is my example of the bind rune. And so I just did it on a piece of paper, and that's going to become important here in a second. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So you can also, well, I won't get ahead of myself because I'm trying to here. So you can put a piece of dried cayenne pepper in the bag to increase overall awareness, add a pinch of dried rue if you have it to assist in removing negativity, and a pinch of dried nettle for self-empowerment. Just check the herbal correspondences for Tuesday if you don't have some of this stuff, and see if there's something there you do have. Let's see, sprinkle either powdered sandalwood or a small amount of dragon's blood resin into the bag, and you're ready to go. Now, if you're using a piece of paper like I did here for the bind rune, I did a little post-it note, you could use paper that's already been painted with a specific herb's infusion and left to dry. That's a cool thing to do, by the way. If you want to create little pieces of paper that you can use in mojo bags or spells or what have you, if you want to have some that have been painted with, say, again, an infusion of nettle, you would just paint it on and let it dry, and now you've got a piece of paper that you're going to work magic with in some fashion. That's already been infused with the energies of the herbs, and so that's kind of cool to do. And again, post-it notes, the small ones are kind of cool to use because they come in so many different colors. And again, if you're going to align them with something, that might be something good to do. Now, you can either just slip it into the mojo bag, or you can roll it up as a little scroll and tie it with a little cord. That's also fun to do. Let's see, but anyway, to use an herbed piece of paper, which is what I call it, or herbally infused piece of paper, it's just a nice way to invoke plant energies into the bind rune itself. So you could do the same with rune stock, now made with the little discs that I make my little runes out of. You can paint those on either side, let it dry, and then either draw on it or wood burn it, and that's why you'd want to have it dry, when you finally did something with it. But again, you're adding plant energies, plant essences into that particular rune. And I think that, it's just something that is, I just think it increases its power. So, let's see. Focus your intention while creating both the rune and the mojo bag. And, and I think you're good to go. You can just take it with you, and if you know that you're going to be going to the store or you're doing one thing or another, it might be good to just have with you to balance out interactions between you and someone else. Maybe it'll make the card reader go better for you. If you're doing that, that's your point of transaction right there, is that. The other day when we were in Walmart, we saw our first person with a gun. We'd never seen one of those before, so that we've seen guns, of course, but nobody in person in a grocery store wearing one, okay, on his hip. He was in the body wash section, so I guess it must have been really terrifying for him or something. So he must have had to bring a gun with him to feel safe or something. And then this morning we were in the store. We had to run up, and again, that's why I'm late doing all of this. And we were in the same store, and we had just come in, and we were walking over to get some toothpaste because we forgot it. And we also forgot the bagged salad because we've got some little tomatoes that are ready, some little grape tomatoes that are ready. My husband's wanting a salad, so we got some salad, and we were walking to the toothpaste area, and a woman's in front of us, and she's wearing a shirt and black underwear. Each to their own, but I just don't want to see it. So anyway, that was my experience at the store this morning. It was like, oh my God. So we're just shaking our head. Well, okay. It's and see, here's the thing. It's not even going to be warm today. Okay, I mean we're going to get like in the 60s today, or maybe 70, maybe. So we've had all this hot weather, and then it's like down to freezing. Not actually freezing, but we're cold, and major wind out there right now, and so it reduces the temperature there. So then we're just taking care of some stuff today. I've got to go and process beans. I was out picking beans. I was out picking hops. I went out into the pasture and I was picking red clover. And my throat's doing better because I've been using red clover in my teas the last couple of days. It's been releasing all of the mucusy stuff in my throat. So that's really wonderful. That red clover does that. It will drain all of that, the damp condition from it's just awesome. And I haven't been drinking my tea that usually has it in it, and then look what happened. Between the smoke and the heat and all of that, I just wasn't faring very well. So it's nice to have today to be really cool, and I can actually sit outside in the back on the back deck and write, and my roosters can be around me, and and I'm not going to be, it's not sweltering. So that's really cool. If the wind will die down. If the wind doesn't, then I think I'm just going to stay in. But anyway, that's all I got for today. And again, I'm sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I will do better, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, and be good to yourself. Be good to one another, and blessed be.